Every mistake that you can make on the road traces back to one thing. Not a bad luck, not a wrong choice. Planning. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why. Before I start the video, I would like to show you this location. And this site as well. If you're able to tell me where exactly I am at the moment, at least the country, I'm gonna give you a free sticker. Please let me know in the comments below. Alright, back on the topic, why poor planning is the core of any problems on the trip. Let's take for example that you have a problem with the motorcycle. It is not strong enough to complete your trip, or it requires a lot of off-road, but you don't have the proper machine for that. Again, all comes back to the planning. If you plan everything in advance, if you know where exactly you plan to go, what kind of road you're going to face, what kind of terrain you have to ride, you'll be well prepared with a proper motorcycle. And this is just one of the examples that I can give you right now. Let's climb this hill to see, will it be too windy to film over there. The second example that I can give you now is maybe border problems or visa problems. Again, everything going back to the planning, because if you don't prepare everything in advance, of course you're gonna have problems. That's why I always laugh when someone tells me that they like to travel without any plans, or if you have plans, it is not an adventure anymore. When you try to make a few hours of ride around your home place, it is possible, but when you travel abroad, especially when you need to cover many borders or many different countries, it is basically impossible. And always going back again to the planning. If the planning is wrong, everything is wrong. I can give you two recent examples that I saw with my own eyes. The first was with the Polish guys that are heading to Magadan. I met them about a month ago, and I told them that it's too early to reach Magadan at the end of May or the beginning of June. They of course did not took my advice and reached Yakutsk and needed to go back because they cannot ride from Yakutsk to Magadan because of bad weather, flooding and stuff like that. So poor planning is always equal to failure, always. Man, look at the fog. Nice, really nice. The second example is from two Romanian guys that are planning to go to Pamir Highway. When I met them 3 weeks ago, I told them exactly the same. It is too early. You have to be there maybe at the end of June, the beginning of July. Before that, you risk cold temperature, flooding, rivers, and just basically cold weather. They didn't listen, and now they have a problem, and we'll see what they're gonna do at the end. Maybe they will be able to cross it, maybe not. Maybe we'll be like the guys who wanted to go to Magadan. So that's why planning is so important, and it is the core for all problems that you might have on the road. Man, that hill is very windy. I'll continue here. Alright, the next one will be, let's say, dangerous situation or dangerous country. And it is basically the same story. If you don't do your homework in advance, if you don't check the proper places where you can go and where you cannot go, it will lead to problems. I can give you one example. If you divide Colombia on east and western part, you will realize that all roads and important towns and famous towns and all connections are in the western part of Colombia. In the eastern part of Colombia, there is basically nothing, and all cartels are located there. So if you decided to travel around eastern part of Colombia, where there are no roads and regulations and anything, of course you're gonna have problems. But if you know this in advance, if you plan everything in advance, if you prepare your route in advance, you will know that you shouldn't go there. Another big benefit of planning is that you can skip the boring parts and visit only the interesting and the parts of the trip that deserve your attention, or to focus on what you would like to see. For example, if you don't want to spend thousands of kilometers on the highways, you can plan nice twisty roads. Or if you don't want to visit every church or every museum, you can plan something that you like, something that you will enjoy, and then your trip is not gonna be boring, and you will enjoy it much more, and you will customize it exactly for you, what you would like to see and what is interesting for you or your riding friends. And this is so important, and I don't understand why people don't get it. So basically all the problems that you might have on the road, everything is, as I said, leads to poor planning. If you have a good planning, everything is all right. Let me clarify something. When I said a good planning in advance, it doesn't mean to book every hotel, every stop, every place that you plan to ride, every mile. No, absolutely not. But you have to have some kind of general plan that will help you to stay on track and to predict, eventually prevent mistakes on the road. And this is so obvious, and as I said, I don't know why people don't get it. I talk a lot about all of these things in my online course, Adventure Riding Without Illusions. Over there, for basically about 6 hours, you can learn all the knowledge that took me more than 15 years to learn. Link will be in the description down below. Another issue that many people have is physical problems on the road. And again, if you prepare your body in advance with everything that is coming, you'll be all right. But if you skip this part, preparation in advance, you'll have a problems. So obvious. Can I come to this place without any preparation? No, absolutely cannot. First I have to find it on the map, then I have to plan my route to here, then I have to have at least some kind of food and water with me. All of this is part of the preparation. You cannot just go like that. If you go like that, I will risk many problems. For example, hypothermia, I might be cold, I will maybe starving, I'm not gonna have water, and anything like this. And it's exactly the same with the motorcycle trips. If you plan it well, you'll be able to execute it. At least the chances to make it will be much higher. This is what I'm talking all the time. What I like the most is when I meet someone on the road and he said, oh man, I like your channel, I watch all of your videos, I listen very carefully what you say, and when I watch his motorcycle, man, that's like a mini home with 70-80 kilograms of luggage, hard panniers, top box, everything that I pray exactly the opposite on my channel. And you have to understand one thing, it's not for me. I'm sharing this experience for you guys because you don't need to make the mistakes that I already made once or twice or many times during my trips. And this is the reason why I keep talking exactly the same things, because people still doing exactly the same mistakes. Like these guys that I told you to Magadan, first of all, they were so heavy with not exactly the motorcycle that they need and so much luggage. The same with the guys that went to Central Asia. I hope that everything will be all right with both groups. But when you don't understand what I'm talking about, it is my fault. Probably I did not explain it well. That's why I keep doing similar videos, maybe a little bit different approach, and eventually I hope that some people will get it. Anyway, I hope that this video will help you. At least one person press like or dislike, whatever it deserves. If you subscribe, even better. Check the links below and see you in the next one. Ciao.